Welcome back to the Sunday Gorilla Men's Bible Study. I'm Brother Thomas Lee Harris III, and we have reached the 22nd chapter in the book of 1 Samuel. I'm going to jump right in it because these chapters are long, and it's a long book, but it's a blessed book. 22nd chapter, 1 Samuel, verse 1. David therefore departed from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam, Adullam. So when his brothers and all his father's house heard it, they went down there to him. And everyone who was in distress, everyone who was in debt, everyone who was discontented, gathered to him. So he became captain over them, and there was about 400 men with him. Then David went from there to Mizpah of Moab. And he said to the king of Moab, "Please let my father and my mother come here with you, till I know what God will do for me." Verse 4. So he brought them before the king of Moab, and they dwelt with him all the time that David was in the stronghold. Now the prophet Gad said to David, "Do not stay in the stronghold. Depart and go to the land of Judah." So David departed and went into the forest of Hereth. Verse 6. When Saul heard that David and the men who were with him had been discovered, now Saul was staying in Gibeath under a tamarisk tree in Ramah, with his spear in his hand, and all his servants standing about him. Then Saul said to his servants who stood about him, "Hear now, you Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds?" Verse 8. "All you have conspired against me, and there is no one who reveals to me that my son has made a covenant with the son of Jesse. And there is not one of you who is sorry for me, or reveals to me that my son has stirred up my servant against me, to lie in wait, as it is this day." Verse 9. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, who was set over the servants of Saul, and said, "I saw the son of Jesse going to Nob, to Ahimelech the son of Ahitub." Verse 10. And he inquired of the Lord for him, gave him provisions, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. So the king sent to call Ahimelech the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, the priests who were in Nob. And they all came to the king. And Saul said, "Hear now, son of Ahitub." He answered, "Here I am, my lord." Verse 13. Then Saul said to him, "Why have you conspired against me, you and the son of Jesse, in that you have given him bread and a sword, and have inquired of God for him, that he should rise against me, to lie in wait, as it is this day?" So Ahimelech answered the king and said, "And who among all your servants is as faithful as David? Who is the king's son-in-law? Who goes at your bidding, and is honorable in your house?" Verse 15. Did I then begin to inquire of God for him? Far be it from me. Let not the king impute anything to his servant, or to any in the house of my father. For your servant knew nothing of all this, little of much. Verse 16. And the king said, "You shall surely die, Ahimelech, you and all your father's house." Then the king said to his guards who stood about him, "Turn and kill the priests of the Lord, because their hands also is with David, and because they knew when he fled and did not tell me." But the servants of the king would not lift their hands to strike the priests of the Lord. Verse 18. And the king said to Doeg, "You turn and kill the priests." So Doeg the Edomite turned and struck the priests, and killed on that day 85 men who wore the linen ephod. Also Nob, the city of the priests, he struck the edge of the sword, both men and women, children and nursing infants, oxen, donkeys, and sheep, with the edge of the sword. Now one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. Verse 21. And Abiathar told David that Saul had killed the Lord's priest. So David said to Abiathar, I knew that day when Doeg the Edomite was there, that he would surely tell Saul. And I have caused the death of all the persons of your father's house. Stay with me, do not fear. For he who seeks my life seeks your life. But with me you shall be safe. Amen. And that concludes the 22nd chapter in the book of 1 Samuel. And we see the confrontation, the continuing hunt of King Saul for God's chosen David. And in the process of time, people are absorbing the pain because of David. You see, along the journey, others are falling because of his righteousness. So that concludes the 22nd chapter. And I look forward to seeing you in the next chapter. Amen.